Offset has already made his return to the stage just days after being shot, and he's doing it in a way that instantly captures attention, showing up in a wheelchair for most of the performance, while making it clear that he's not about to let the injuries slow him down or keep him away from the spotlight for long. Only a short time after the frightening incident that left him hospitalized, the rapper stepped back into the public eye on Saturday night, making his first performance since the shooting. He rolled out in a wheelchair for a club appearance, and the moment alone carried a powerful presence, signaling resilience and determination. It wasn't just about showing up, it was about proving something, both to himself and to everyone watching, that he was still here, still moving forward, and still committed to his craft, despite everything that had just happened. The crowd immediately reacted to his presence, feeding off the energy of the moment, as he positioned himself on stage. There was a mix of excitement and disbelief in the air, as fans witnessed him performing so soon after such a serious situation. Even though he was seated for much of the performance, there was nothing low energy about it. He brought the same intensity, the same engagement, and the same command over the audience that people expect from him, refusing to let the circumstances take anything away from his performance. But what really pushed the moment into something unforgettable was when he decided not to stay seated the entire time. At one point during the performance, Offset got up out of the wheelchair, rising to his feet, despite the obvious pain and discomfort he must have been feeling. That single action shifted the energy in the room instantly. The crowd responded loudly, reacting to the sheer determination it took for him to stand and continue performing after what he had just gone through. He didn't just stand for a second and sit back down. He leaned into the moment, continuing to perform, pushing through the pain as if he refused to let it control him. It was a visible display of perseverance, and it resonated with everyone watching. Fans could see that this wasn't easy, that every movement likely came with a cost, but he pushed forward anyway, delivering his performance with the same passion and focus that defines him. Throughout the night, Offset kept the energy high, refusing to let the situation turn into something somber or restrained. Instead, he turned it into a statement. He hyped up the crowd, interacted with fans, and moved through his tracks with determination. The atmosphere stayed electric, with the audience feeding off his energy and giving it right back to him. It became a shared moment where the crowd wasn't just watching a performance, they were witnessing his resilience in real time. The fact that this all came so soon after a shooting only added to the weight of the moment. Just days earlier, he had been dealing with a situation serious enough to land him in the hospital, yet here he was, back on stage, refusing to let that moment define him or keep him away from what he does. It created a contrast that made the performance feel even more intense, as if every second carried more meaning than usual. As the performance continued, there was no sign of him holding back. Even while seated, he remained fully engaged, using his presence and voice to command the stage. When he stood up, it wasn't just a physical action, it was symbolic. It showed that he was pushing forward, that he wasn't going to let pain or fear dictate his next steps. That kind of energy translated directly to the crowd, who responded with even more enthusiasm, creating a feedback loop that kept the performance alive and dynamic. The club setting amplified everything. The closeness of the space, the immediate reaction of the audience, and the rawness of the moment all came together to create something that felt unfiltered and real. There were no elaborate setups or distractions, just Offset, his music, and a crowd that was fully locked in. That simplicity made the moment hit even harder, because it stripped everything down to its core. By the time the performance was nearing its end, it was clear that this wasn't just a routine appearance. It was something more, something that would stick with the people who were there, and those who would later see it online. It was a reminder of how quickly things can change, and how people respond to those changes. In this case, Offset chose to respond by stepping back into the spotlight and showing that he wasn't backing down.